Hello guys, this is lecture 6. This is the unprejudiced observer notes only change of state as shown by symptoms. So what is an unprejudiced observer? An unprejudiced observer is a person who doesn't question what he doesn't know. He knows that he shouldn't, he should accept laws, and just because he has some theories he doesn't go on and think that just that his theories are right. There are people who think that, oh, this must be like this, that's his theory, but those people are like, this is my theory but I know I'm right. How can they be right? Because that's a theory. A theory is a theory, that's not principle, it doesn't has law you know but people think that just because they think like that, just because they have theory like that, they are, you know they know a lot because they think like that. So that's kind of like pathetic. Everybody is like that. Everybody is like that. I'm like that too in some of my ways. And before I begin, I just want to say, what I'm about to say shouldn't be taken as everything that homeopathy has to offer. What I'm going to say is what I know, but even then I might be wrong because I'm only, you know, trying to be a homeopath, and I'm not actually a homeopath. Like, I'm not a complete homeopath. I just, I've seen things work. Seen people cry because they spent so many years, like more than 3 years, to pursue their health. Go searching for how to they get cured. People who go on getting surgery after surgery, and when they are in their like third surgery, they go to homeopathy doctor and they get cured, and they cry. So these are really something that people should understand. Many people judge it just because they think like it, but they don't know. You're being prejudiced, man. Anyway, first point is that all men are prejudiced. All people are prejudiced, so they have some set of their ideas. They think like this and they think that they are right, because in homeopathy we should get rid of this state of mind. I wrote it somewhere here. Where was it? Rid of, before a person like start studying homeopathy, they should quit their prejudiced mind. They should forget what they think they know. They should stop thinking that they are right just because they think like that. They should understand and try to look upon this law. Our homeopathy that isn't about theory. People ask like, what is like this is actually a doctrine and principle that we work upon. Homeopathy is all about principles, laws. So if a person is like not, doesn't really accept this law, he can't really check if this law is actually correct, right? He can't really understand, and he can't actually look if this is wrong or right. If he doesn't even believes in it first, he should understand that, oh, this is the law, this is how it works. If he doesn't study it correctly and he doesn't understand it correctly, how can he check if this is correct? So this is the first point. Second point is that symptoms represent nature of sickness. Okay, a person is sick, and that person is sick and he shows symptoms, sign and symptoms all over the, like, external signs and symptoms, and he shows signs and symptoms that are the state of disorder. Those sickness is actually being presented by signs and symptoms of the body. Okay, looking at the organs for sickness is like totally wrong. Okay, people shouldn't look for sickness. Like, they say like this, my stomach is sick, stomach made me sick, stomach made my liver sick. A organ can't be sick. Okay, if a person starts looking that organ actually makes someone sick, like, they will end up in a theory. This is a theory that organ makes something sick. But homeopathy and its laws expresses this in a way that it is actually understood by many people. Sickness comes from within. It affects the organs. The organs can't get sick, you know. There are so many diseases named after, like, just because someone's heart is in a disordered state, there is a name given to that. Like, it is a disease, it is a heart disease, its name is this, something related to heart. Okay, giving name to disease, but they don't know what caused it. They just know that liver is sick. Okay, liver is sick, liver is getting whitish. Okay, and they are giving it a name. Liver is like liver, it is like white, they mix two words. Oh, it's a disease. No, it doesn't. Like, how can they not even understand what caused it? Because this is actually a theory working in a process, but these theories are becoming our reality now. Anyway, uh this is what I was thinking, saying I mean thinking. This is what I think. This is what I think. Those are not okay. Thinking man's organs and how it was brought upon, this will only create confusion, because this will only create theories. Okay, for example, a person dies, then the people, of course, okay, the person dies, then, okay, I think I shouldn't say about this topic, because dogs doesn't allow me to say it. So okay, second point. Okay, thinking how man's organ and how it was brought upon, we will only get confused, but we will not be confused if we perceive on how these symptoms, signs and symptoms actually is the sickness. That's what I wrote, right? Oh, but if we see, okay, that's don't use earphone. That's, I can't do anything to about this now. Okay, so, like, as I have said already, signs and symptoms are the sick man. Those are what we need to perceive, what we need to see exactly and note it down, to understand what a remedy should be given to cure a patient. Okay, this is, we have no theory, we have law. This is our doctrine, this is our principle, and it has been proved many times. These are not some theories. Next point, doctor, no change of tissue or organ, only state. Okay, sickness is not about change of tissue or change in organs. Okay, these are not sickness, they are only a change in state. Okay, they are change in state. Okay, as the point was there, that we were saying, is that unprejudiced observer, the person who accepts laws first, notes only change of state as shown by symptoms, because this is our law. Without understanding this, a person is like a normal, how we understand, how do you understand a doctor? A doctor is a person that knows what kind of disease a person has, right? You go to a doctor, you expect that person should know what disease you have. Because of that doctor actually makes up disease. because of this requirement that people have, they make diseases. I might be wrong, but I'm just saying. Oh, you have something that, oh, your mind is like that, you have like delusion or some sort, something that would like make sense to a patient, and patient want the same thing, something that makes sense. A a, a word that is something related to sickness, and the person get, oh, I'm so happy, like, oh, I have this disease, it is nothing to be afraid of, man. Signs and symptoms shows how you are correctly, like how you are, they show you perfectly what kind of sickness you have, what kind of remedy should be given if the physician knows the way, our way, the law and principles and doctrines of homeopathy. These signs and symptoms a person has leads to a remedy. If that remedy isn't given to the patient, in 2 or 3 years the patient can get very sick, even to a level where that patient might get incurable. There are many diseases that might be incurable, I guess. Of course, there are sickness that doesn't show signs and symptoms. There are sickness that doesn't show signs and symptoms, and those are the diseases that homeopathy considers incurable, the one that doesn't show signs and symptoms. Anyway, I totally jumped my topic. Actually, I was really, what was no change of tissue or organ, only state. Okay, you know how a tissue changes, tissue changes, or like some kind of tumor or something, like these are things, these are also a sign. Okay, these are not the disease, that are not a person has tissue change, some eruption on the these are actually just a sign. Of course a homeopath takes a note of it. He she actually cares about it. He or she will note it down, but this isn't everything of a disease. Okay, just because he is suffering from some kind of tissue change, oh, this is the disease. This is not a disease. It is a state made by the disease. It is a disorder created by a disease from within. Those are not disease. Okay, this what nature of the disease. Okay, tissue change, like signs and symptoms are all that is actually the nature of disease. And the cause of it is actually miasmatic, it is from inside. If the people is like totally focused on how it was caused and how, because what we know is like this, we know what caused the disease. We actually do. These are the miasmatic a person has from child. When the person is born, he's born soric. Soric has so many disorders that a person could have. But what a homeopath might not know, a homeopath might know if he is very experienced enough. A homeopath would have hard time understanding what the ending of that change would actually be. Maybe I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not right. Maybe I don't know much. But this is something that I believe that it could be, because the ending of disease can be like conditions, not disease. I mean conditions could be very extreme. It could take 2 years. It could take like 2 months, 2 days. Maybe not 2 days, but maybe 2 months. Like it could be very risky for a patient, because it has been a chronic case, because it has been from a child when he was born. From then to a person who might be about like 60, he is in a deadly state because he isn't getting cured. He's in a very problematic state. Okay, so this is the last point. Okay, there are two last points. Patient is not sick because he has some white swellings. Okay, this is what homeopathy says. Patient is not sick because he has some white swellings. White swellings are there because the patient is sick. I hope you understand this. It is pointless to explain it even more. Anyway, the last point, that is like homeopathy cures the patient first. Okay, there could be some result of diseases that might be left even after curing the patient. It is actually not necessary to cure everything, but that could be taken care of if the patient wants. So homeopathy actually cures the patient first. If a patient has multiple fractures in the hand, then it is not work of a homeopathy. Okay, this is a different topic. I should talk about in a different class. The point is that say a person has cure patient first cure patient first. I think I don't really have good examples. I am totally blank, but I could explain it in a simple way that patient is sick from within. Okay, a homeopath understands him from top to bottom. Okay, understand everything. Okay, everything matters. Patient gets very irritated because he thinks, what is he asking? Those are the things that matters. That's why a physician is actually asking. There are things, okay, in homeopathy, when you actually give a correct remedy, things could aggravate, things could get very ugly. Patient can say, sir, I only had a little pain, but after taking your remedy the pain increased so much. And this is actually something that is good in some cases. This is actually a correct remedy was given, that's why it has getting aggravated. And when a patient gets cured, there could be some signs or like some results of disease that could still be left. For example, like warts. Many people think that homeopathy is actually like actually very good, only very good for skins and not very good for other thing. Because it has proved to many people that skin diseases are best when you go to a homeopathy doctor. But it is not, because homeopathy is all rounder. It could even be better than doing most of the surgeries. Homeopathy works. But even then, some results of disease like sickness could be remain after doing the getting the perfect cure. So that could be taken care of. You don't really have to judge everything just because I am unable to give a good example, because I'm not really experienced. But anyway, I hope this video actually helped, and I'm still blank here, so I hope in the next video I would be um, able to give you a good example. So anyway, thank you for watching. This has been 19 minutes, so it is very long. Anyway, thank you for watching, if you are watching till now.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.